promises goals in their matches so far. These two nations have conceded no fewer than 16, so a 0-0 scoreline. And I think I'm right in saying there's only been one of them up to now. Looks highly unlikely. Former Wales international John Hartson with me here in the commentary box. John, how would you assess the performances of Panama and Tunisia so far in this tournament?
Well, I think Tunisia have looked the better of the two teams just on their results against England. I thought they had a spell after they got back into the game against England. They got back to 1-1. I thought they had a decent spell for 15-20 minutes, although they could have been 2 or 3-0 down if the referee does his job right. I think in terms of Panama, I was disappointed with their disciplinary sort of actions in the game. I thought they were a little bit rash in giving important free kicks away in bad areas. They gave a couple of penalties away against England, so they need to work on their discipline, Panama. But for me, if I was going to go with a team I think are the stronger out of these two, I would certainly be going with Tunisia.
Panama are one of those teams who benefited from the World Cup being extended, the finals of the World Cup extended to 32 teams. Are you a fan of that? Do you think they justified their place here? They're talking in the future of making it into 48 teams.
Well, I am a fan because I think a World Cup is more for, a lot more countries than just, the usual suspects, if you like, the bigger nations. I think it's been fantastic that Saudi Arabia have been at a World Cup. I think it's brilliant that Panama have also been there this year, and I just think it gives more fans, it gives it a bigger sort of, not that it needs a big draw for the World Cup's the biggest in the world in terms of football, but I believe the more nations that are there, the more fans are there, the better the atmosphere, and the more that we can progress, football as the number one sport in the world.
Well, England scored 6 against Panama, Belgium 3 in their matches against Tunisia. England managed just the 2 goals, while Belgium scored 5. Now, what that tells us about the likely outcome in Kaliningrad, where Gareth Southgate and Roberto Martinez go head-to-head tonight, is anyone's guess, as of course England and Belgium fight it out for first place in Group G. We'll keep you informed of all the significant action in that game as it happens. But here in Saransk, Panama have to win to avoid finishing bottom of the group, and a draw I'm sure will be enough to see Tunisia avoid the wooden spoon. That's because of the goal difference, which is pretty horrendous as it happens for both of these nations. However, despite the fact that they're on their way home tomorrow or the day after, the stadium is pretty full here. Brand new stadium with a capacity of 44,000. Panama will play in their all-red strip tonight. The referee, another man from a minor football nation, if he doesn't mind me saying that, Bahrain, is Nawaf Shukrala. They're all ready to go, with the attention of most people, certainly in Britain and probably Europe, on England's clash against Belgium. Here it's Panama against Tunisia as the Panamanians get the match underway on a warm evening. It's over 20 degrees inside the stadium here. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of tempo this game produces, with nothing at stake officially apart from, as I mentioned, avoiding the wooden spoon. How important that is, it remains to be seen. But the way Panama celebrated their goal against England, pretty important, I'd say. As Gabriel Torres has the ball for them out on the far side, that is the Panamanian left near the corner flag, but he's lost possession to Tunisia, who are on their way home after losing their first 2 games and conceding 7 goals in the process. 2-1 against England, 5-2 against Belgium. First foul of the game, and it'll probably be the first foul of many, I would suspect, has been committed by Panama. No surprise there, because they've been pretty physical in their approach to the game so far, hence all those yellow cards, which has cost them a couple of players incidentally tonight, and indeed so too Tunisia, who had a couple suspended as well from their back 4. But they begin to build in their all-white strip. The ball knocked back to their goalkeeper Mathlouthi, who was the skipper all the way through the qualifying process for them. But this is his first game here. Anyway, his long kick upfield has got them on the attack here with Sliti. Sliti plays it to his left, goes for the cross as it's knocked clear but still Tunisia keep possession just outside the Panamanians' penalty area, and then across comes their most famous player and skipper Roman Torres to clear the immediate danger. The ball still just outside that penalty area though, and then Escobar, the fellow central defender to Torres, also clears it. It's still going to be a throw-in to Tunisia, and again they make ground just outside the penalty area with Chalai. Plays it out to that right flank. Early pressure here on the Panamanian goal, but now they should break clear themselves with Godoy in possession. He crosses the halfway line into Tunisian territory. Has to check and hold the ball up as there was no one really in support down the left-hand side. They have it. Panama just inside the Tunisian half, playing some neat passing football. It's when they get to the final third where they have been found lacking here. They should get a free kick for that challenge on the touchline, but because they're still in possession, the Bahrainian referee has let play go on. Now they do get a free kick for a challenge there on Godoy.
There's certainly been a lively first couple of minutes, Aaron. I think you saw Torres showing his intent early on for Panama, looking to run in behind the Tunisian defence, and Tunisia having a little spell of possession themselves. Decent opportunity now for Panama to get the ball into that Tunisian penalty area.
Yes, it's about midway inside the Tunisian half. This it'll be taken by Alberto Quintero, who wears for some reason Avila on the back of his jersey, a bit like Chicharito, of course, whose real name is Javier Hernandez. We saw him in action last night for Mexico in a dramatic game there, but Quintero is his official name, and he clips it goalwards, too far really, straight through on first bounce to Mafloufi, who now plays in the Saudi Arabian League, where I gather he's had a bit of a torrid time, and that's probably one of the reasons that he didn't start that first game when they were unfortunate enough to lose their goalkeeper after just 15 minutes with a shoulder injury. He's actually currently in hospital in Russia, having had an operation to cure that shoulder problem. Tunisia begin to build from the back with Maria, main man in their back four, who's had his whole club career in his home country of Tunisia. And now they come forward on the halfway line. The layoff by Kazri out to the right hand side. He gets it back just outside the Panama penalty area, and Avila, or Quintero, whatever we're going to call him, let's call him Avila, that's on the back of his jersey, commits an obvious foul. The man who played in most of the qualifiers for Panama has given away a free kick here, needlessly so. He was a second half substitute, incidentally, in the game against England. He plays his club football in Peru. So a free kick about 10 yards in from the right touchline for Tunisia. Kazri himself will take it. Kazri just waiting for a little bit more movement from his defenders, including Maguez, the right back. And the referee, as usual, is going to clamp down on any pushing and shoving inside the penalty area before the free kick can even be taken. He's just having a word with the offenders here, Panamanian offenders. You won't be surprised to hear we saw so much of that grappling going on in the game against England, and indeed in Tunisia's game against England as well, even worse if anything. Finally, the referee will put his whistle in his mouth, closed, and enables the free kick to be floated over towards the far post. Again, it was a disappointing set piece, easily cleared by Panama, although it has gone out of play for a throw into Tunisia midway inside the opposition half.
Yeah, well, we saw Kazri there, a really good opportunity to put a quality ball into the heart of the Panama defence, overhit it, and opportunities that you can't waste good opportunities when you've got the opportunity to whip a good ball into the box and test the goalkeeper. Overhit, bit wasteful from Tunisia, that one.
Bedwi, the Tunisian central defender, sweeps a very good ball out to Sleety, left edge of the penalty, and that's a good ball in as well. And the goalkeeper dives on a rather mishit shot that came in from Ben Youssef.
Sleepy does really well here. He gets the ball in, cuts inside on his right foot. Really good ball, and Ben Youssef just doesn't quite get the contact. It's a difficult one, that one. The ball is skimming off the surface. Difficult one to strike.
Well, we know the identity, of course, of most of the round of 16 now. France against Argentina, Uruguay versus Portugal, Brazil, Mexico, that could be a cracking game. Spain against the host Russia, Croatia will play Denmark, Sweden will play Switzerland, and And the final two games in that round of 16 will be decided by the outcome of this game tonight and England against Belgium, where it is still 0-0. This is TalkSport 2, your station for all 64 games of the World Cup finals, alongside TalkSport, every goal, every game, every day, live across the TalkSport network. And it's Tunisia on the attack again with that man Khazri in a good position just outside the penalty area. Another slightly mishit shot. Sliti tries a dramatic overhead kick which failed completely and goes out harmlessly for the goal kick.
Yeah, good play there from Khazri and Ben Youssef, looking to play them little intricate little 1-2s in and around the box, and it's Sliti in the end that tries a very audacious overhead kick which he can't quite get on target. Didn't really get the good contact that he wanted, but decent from Tunisia. They look already as if they're the team that have settled better in these early moments.
Torres has the ball for Panama. The skipper hits it first time upfield, where it's won back by Tunisia, and they take possession again with that man Khazri. They've seen a lot of the ball early on here, but they've been a little bit clumsy in possession in the middle third of the field and given it back here to Panama, a team not used to getting much possession themselves, of course. Rodriguez, youngest man in the side, he's just 20, plays for Ghent in the Belgian league. He didn't even figure in the qualifiers, and here he is in the final game of the finals. Then a long ball played deep inside the Tunisian half, and the ball is picked up by Godoy, who goes down right on the edge of the penalty area. Big shout from the Panamanian supporters for a penalty, but the referee, quite right, I'm not even sure he was inside the box when he was challenged, has said play on, which Tunisia do in their all-white kit, and play the ball from a central position inside their own penalty area out to the right flank. Now it comes into the inside right position, but Avila's done well to come and win it back there, and then the shot was a little bit optimistic, to say the least, and it's gone wide for the goal kick to Tunisia. What do you made of the opening so far then, John?
Well, I think Tunisia have looked, they're getting a little bit more of the quality possession. They look really comfortable when they're on the ball. Panama just all looks a little bit rushed at the minute. They've had the one good opportunity to put the ball into the Tunisian box, which they wasted. And it's Tunisia, for me in particular, with Khazri, Sliti and Ben Youssef, with them three linking together up the forward end of the pitch. They look very dangerous.
And certainly two of them linked together then. It was a good layoff by Khazri, but Sliti's shot was wild and way off target. Panama 0, Tunisia 0. You're listening to TalkSport 2, your home of exclusive Premier League and English Football League commentaries, and also we'll bring you all the cricket action from England's tours of the West Indies and Sri Lanka this winter. These two playing to avoid the ignominy of finishing bottom of the group, as the ball is played deep into the Tunisian half again, where it's knocked out of play for a throw-in to Panama, who can certainly restore some pride after conceding 9 goals in those first two games. They lost 3-0 against Belgium and, of course, 6-1 against England. They've qualified for the finals for the first time in their history after 10 unsuccessful attempts, taking in almost 100 games, would you believe, over a period of 40 years. No wonder they're determined to go out on a high here. They have a throw-in, which Machado will take, a long throw into the Tunisian penalty area, where the header is won, but not very successfully, by the number 9 Torres, who's claiming a corner, but I think the referee has given a goal kick here.
Yes, Naguez, the full-back for Tunisia, gets across really well. He's a lot bigger than Torres, the centre forward for Panama, just using his height and his strength there. It's actually Gomez who got up for the header.
Goal kick taken by Makhloufi. It's a good one as well, quite deep into the Panama half. 10 minutes on the clock now. Panama 0, Tunisia 0, still goalless as well in Kaliningrad between Belgium and England. As Tunisia win the ball back on the halfway line. Oh, it's a strong challenge there again by that man Quintero, or Avila as we're going to call him, I think, from now on. And that'll be another free kick, and they give away far too many of those.
They do.
It really is a problem for Panama, the physicality of their game at this level. You just cannot get away with the kind of tackles they've been making. A long ball played into their penalty area. Khazri's onto it. Torres comes sliding across to knock it out. The heaviest player in the World Cup is his distinction.
It's lucky I'm not there then, Alan.
You were slim and lithe when you were still playing regularly, though. And you would have given these battling central defenders of Panama a game and a half. They wouldn't have got away with you what they've got away with so far in this tournament. Anyway, it's a corner to Tunisia, goalless here, coming up to 12 minutes on the clock. And again, the referee says, cut out all the pushing, all the shoving, all the holding, all the grappling, all the wrestling. I'm not sure they're actually listening to him. The corner is played back deep into the half. Now it's laid up to the edge of the penalty area. Panama have got it cleared, and that man Avila's in possession again for them. He's got a bit of pace, that boy. Leaves it this time to Godoy. Gave away the second penalty they conceded against England. Now it goes out to the Panamanian left. Godoy gets it back again. He's been on loan in the MLS club, in MLS League in America, to the club New York Red Bulls. Also had a spell last year in Hungary with the famous Honved club there. So there's a bit of good club experience here. Offside flag halts Panama's latest attack, but certainly the quality of the leagues, if you like, that most of these Panamanian players play in is a lot lower than most of the teams here.
Yeah, it would be, but you know, there's scouts from all over the world, Alan, at these tournaments, and it's a good opportunity. You know, this is the major stage to showcase your talent, and you know, it's an opportunity for players, you know, that maybe wouldn't get the opportunity. You know, League Two, you know, things like that, the Championship, and there'll be several players that clubs will want to have a look at because they know that they can get these players out of certain divisions and give them an opportunity to play in England. So this is what would be our mindset. If I was one of these players playing tonight, I'd be thinking, you know, I want to show people what a good player I am. This is the World Cup.
Certainly a big incentive for the younger ones, but they do have the oldest squad here. Average age almost 30, and many of them are likely to retire from international football after this World Cup is over. They're claiming a throw-in here, Panama on the halfway line, and the Bahrainian referee agrees with that. Still 0-0. You're listening to TalkSport 2, your station for those 64 games, every one of them in these World Cup finals, alongside TalkSport. Every goal, every game, every day, live across the TalkSport network. The ball is with Tunisia on the halfway line with Sleety, who's already had a couple of off-target efforts for the Tunisians in their all-white strip, and the ball is played deep inside Panama's penalty area. An easy take there for the goalkeeper, Canedo, who like his opposite number at the other end of the field. He's in his 30s now, an experienced player. In his first cap 15 years ago. He actually won a title in the MLS, the American League, with LA Galaxy, famous club over there. So he's no mug, even though, as I say, they've had a few problems defensively in front of it. Anyway, they have possession, Tunisia, and they move up towards the halfway line rather slowly with Bedoui. They've only made a handful of appearances for them in the qualifiers. They've made 6 changes in all here tonight, and the other team 5. So a bit like the Belgian-England game, which is still goalless, by the way. Both coaches deciding to make a lot of changes. Have you enjoyed this World Cup so far, John?
I have. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching, you know, the teams that you'd expect to be really, really convincing. Not showing their qualities early on. I still think the likes of Argentina, you know, who have scraped through, I think there's more to come from them. I thought Brazil last night were impressive in their game, you know, but I've really enjoyed it. I have to say, you know, there's been some quality games. The VAR, I think, has been a really positive plus point. And of course, we're getting down to the business end of the World Cup.
Business end here for Tunisia. They've got the ball inside the Panamanian penalty area with Khazri, who's seen a lot of possession early on here, and then the effort by Ben Youssef blocked and cleared by Panama, but Tunisia pick up the loose ball over on the far side of the field. That is the right for Tunisia with Maguez, the right back, who plays in the Egyptian League. A long ball by him, and there's Khazri to win it back again for Tunisia. It's bouncing rather aimlessly at the moment in the middle third of the field. Needs somebody to get it under control. That man is the defender for Panama, and he plays it forward. And not a very good ball by Machado there. It's gone out of play for a throw-in to Tunisia, just about on the halfway line. But they have looked the most likely to score in this opening quarter of an hour or so.
Yeah, they have. Kazri, he looks lively. He looks the one that is looking to make runs in behind. The way that he's started, he's made about 7 or 8 runs already in behind the Panama defences. Whether he can keep them energy levels up all night, I don't know. But he's the only one at the minute who's looking just to get balls in, playing through the lines. Ben Youssef and Sleety, of course, alongside him. They look a threat.
Given the ball away a few times, Panama here. They've also given away free kicks. They were lucky not to give away one then, as Escobar made a challenge just outside the penalty area. The referee says play on, so Godoy, the central midfielder, one of those cautioned against Belgium, does just that. Finds Machado, the right back, on the halfway line. Good little spell of possession this for Panama, something that they don't have too much of in their games. Football's not even the number one sport in Panama. Baseball is far more popular. They've produced a lot of pros for the USA, where of course it's such a huge sport, and boxing as well. Arguably next on the list of popularity for sports there. The great Roberto Duran, of course, came from Panama, a country best known for its world-famous canal. Not its football team, who have just lost possession halfway inside Tunisia's half, and the ball is with the Tunisian winger Sleety, the number 23, making ground here. He's chopped down as well. That's about the third foul now that Avila there, the number 19, has committed. I'll be surprised if the referee doesn't at least have a word with him.
Well, normally when the referee gets his cards out early, then he must feel then, well, I think what it is, he's just trying to give the players an opportunity, Alan, to settle in. But I think you're right. I think Avili has made 3 or 4 fouls, and next one, I'd be absolutely certain for persistent foul, and he'll win the book.
Well, the free kick came to nothing, but they did have to concede a corner there, Panama. So that's out on the far side of the stadium. Beautiful stadium, this, like so many of the venues in Russia. It's on the Tunisian right flank. They've sent a lot of players forward for this, including their central defenders. It came in a little bit short, though, to the near post. It's gone back out again to Kazri. Decent cross by him, and a chance there for the big central defender, Yassine Maria, but he didn't really connect with that header. Easy save for Pinedo.
No, it was just over Bedoui's head, actually. I don't know whether Maria got in his way, but it wasn't able to get the power on the header. But again, really good from Tunisia, whipping a good ball into that Tunisian box, with this time with a little bit of quality.
Incidentally, Super League action returns to TalkSport 2 tomorrow evening, as 4th place Warrington hosts 10th place Salford. That match will be the focal point of TalkSport 2, live tomorrow evening from 6 p.m. Other sports going on. It's not just the World Cup, although if you get lost in the bubble that is the Russian World Cup, it's easy to forget not just sports, but the rest of life as well. As Tunisia come forward here, they'll have to concentrate on something else, along with Panama after tonight, because they'll both be going home, remember, as England and Belgium still 0-0 there, fight it out for first and second places, and that's a big thing. The winners of this group will play Japan on Monday, July the 2nd, the runners-up Colombia the following night. The first game will be in Rostov, the second game in Moscow. Colombia, I would think, would be a much greater threat than Japan. They're a neat and tidy side, but you wouldn't really want to be playing Colombia.
You wouldn't. They've topped their group. Really good win today. The likes of Falcao, the likes of James Rodriguez, they've got some real quality in the
Cuadrado, the winger as well.
Cuadrado, wasn't it? Chelsea,
yes.
Juventus.
Yes.
So they've got players there with great experience, play Champions League football every season. So you would think Japan would be the better option.
It's a real nail-biter, of course, that England-Belgium game. They've both got 6 points, they both scored 8 goals, they both conceded 2, so therefore they both have the same goal difference as well. Yellow cards could be the final decider there. As Tunisia attack menacingly here, the ball played deep into the Panama penalty area. Thumbs up, but it's just a little bit too far.
Yeah, a bit audacious, I think, but I see exactly what he's trying to do, Alan. He's just trying to help it on. It's a difficult skill. It's come over his shoulder, and he's trying to volley the ball over the oncoming keeper's head. Difficult skill to do that. I remember I saw Mark Hughes do it once for United against Liverpool at Old Trafford, and it takes great technique.
He certainly had that, and he had a good season in the end, didn't he, in the Premier League, albeit it was a bit of a sweat in the end, but they got there. Handball here by Barcenas, the number 8 for Panama, so it's got to be a free kick to Tunisia, about 10 yards inside their own half. Barcenas, one of those who plays in the Mexican League. Most of them spread all over, well, South and Central America, and a few in Europe. Now the long ball goes through on the second bounce to the Panama goalkeeper, Jaime Panedo. Easy for him to collect. And Panama try to build up towards the halfway line. Marcenas has switched from right to left momentarily, runs into a heavy challenge, goes down, appeals to the referee, who says, get on with it, get up. And it is still 0-0. TalkSport 2, your station for all 64 games of the World Cup finals, alongside TalkSport. Every goal, every game, every day, live across the TalkSport network. Here we've had, well, we're midway through the first half, and it is still Panama 0, Tunisia 0. If you're listening to this and not the England-Belgium game, I can tell you that it's 0-0 there as well. They are playing for the big prize of group winners. Here it's to avoid the wooden spoon. Neither of them can qualify, of course. Now Barcenas has nicked the ball back here for Panama, and he's made a lot of ground, showing real turn of pace down the left flank. He's already 10 yards outside the penalty area. Plays it back to Avila. Avila tried to cut inside on his left foot, but he showed too much of the ball to the defender Haddadi, who got across from left back on the cover, and he clears the danger.
Yeah, it was a great break there from Barcenas for Panama. Rather than run and be positive, you know, at Naguez, who was the full-back for Tunis, he come back inside, played Avili in. Avili's touch let him down. I think when you get away like that and it's an opportunity to counter, you've got to do it with pace and positivity. That time he chose to cut. Barcenas decided to cut inside.
Okay, Tunisia have possession on the halfway line with Chalai in the centre circle. Just rolls it to his right. Very carefully chipped forward as well. Torres heads it away, the captain of Panama. But the loose ball is inevitably picked up again by Sassi this time, who plays it down to the right flank and infield. It wasn't a particularly good ball, actually, because he was trying to pick out Ben Youssef, but got it wrong. But they got it again here. Tunisia midway inside Panama's half. They're really penned in here, the Panamanians. Barcenas tries to break clear for them. There was a strong challenge on him by Chalai, and the referee has given a free kick.
They're struggling to get out there, Panama. They've only got Torres playing on his own up top. Rodriguez sort of playing on the left just off him, but at this moment in time they're doing a lot of defending. Tunisia are dominating the middle of the park, and Panama are just struggling to get out, to get the team up the field. Torres needs to get hold of the ball for a couple of seconds and allow his team to come up the pitch.
There's been a good competitive game. There's always a fear when there's nothing really resting on it in terms of qualification for the next round, that it could turn out to be a bit of a sort of pre-season friendly testimonial pace, but it hasn't been like that.
No, it's been lively. There's not been a lot of quality. I don't think the goalkeeper has had a shot to save yet in the first 25 minutes. I think there was a header that came in from Maria from Tunisia, which the keeper sort of smothered really, really well. But other than that, the keepers have been very quiet. I'd like to see a few more pops at goal.
Okay, Tunisia have possession again inside the centre circle. Maria plays it forward. It wasn't the best ball, and it's been won back by Godoy here for Panama. Godoy playing it out to the left-hand side to that tricky, pacey customer Barcenas, who again makes a lot of ground, just holds it up. He's one of the younger ones. He'll want to impress. Avila plays it from left to right. It was a bit of an ambitious ball, and it gave his teammate Naguez a difficult control, which he couldn't manage. He's gone out.
Well, there's three Panamanian players running into the box, busting a gut from midfield, and he tries it, just a cross-field hopeless ball. Just you got time in front of you, space. Put the ball in the box. That's where goals come from. Why try and sort of sweep it from one side of the pitch to 50, 60 yards just for the sake of it?
Absolutely. Tunisia, as ever, like to play out from the back and dominate possession, but what they have lacked, of course, is real goal-scoring talent up front, and that's cost them dear, and a few defensive frailties as well in this World Cup. always been one of the best teams in Africa, although this is their first time in the finals for 12 years. They actually came here as the highest ranked African team in the tournament, and those African nations haven't done very well, have they? Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, all falling at the first hurdle, if you like, in these knockout stages.
That's right, but you say that Nigeria, what were they, 7 or 8 minutes from going through, and they took a Rojo wonder goal to save Argentina in the end. So maybe Nigeria, I thought they did okay. A little bit unfortunate, obviously. They tried to get Argentina on a bad night. Nearly worked for them. Rojo pops up with a wonder goal.
Got some experience, of course, in this team, Tunisia. They've got 6 players with, getting on for 100 caps in their squad. So Panama as well, in that respect. They do play an awful lot of internationals, but not at this level, and that's the key to it. It must be difficult for them to get the kind of competition they need, to come into a tournament where the elite is going to be up against them. Oh, a terrible kick there by Panama's goalkeeper, Pinedo. He's got away with it because it's gone straight to his skipper, Roman Torres. He's one of those with over 100 caps in their squad. And he's knocked it out of play. Plays yet another who plays in the USA League, MLS, for Seattle Sounders, one of the big clubs there, who average around 40,000 spectators for every home game. So he's used to the big crowds, the big stadia. But again, the MLS clearly not at the level that certainly the players of England and Belgium are used to week in, week out in their club football.
No, not at all. That's Wayne Rooney gone over to play in the States for the next 3.5 years. Yeah,
big news today. Well, I say news, it's been rumoured for so long. I've seen pictures of him over there. It was hardly a big secret, was it?
No.
As Tunisia press forward again down the right hand side. Naguez, the right back, will win a corner here, will he, or did it come back off him? It did. It actually came back off Ben Youssef. A little double deflection, takes it behind for a goal kick.
Well, that was what you call an air shot.
It was. I know all about those.
Completely missed the ball.
Be it football or golf, I am an expert.
Well, the good thing is, I bet nobody laughed, because we all got to start off at some stage in golf. That's why the handicap is a great leveller.
Hasn't worked for me. So the Panama coach breathes again. Hernan Dario Gomez, 4 years in charge. 3rd different country he's led to the finals after his native country Colombia in '98 and Ecuador in 2002. A bit of a controversial character by all accounts. Gets himself into some tricky situations. But he's been as good as gold, I think, so far in this tournament. You say the same of his players, but they're looking effective here. Well, they were, but then the assistant flagged to halt their attack with an offside decision. So a free kick coming up to the half-an-hour mark to Tunisia, midway inside their own half, still 0-0 here. By the way, racing fans, Matchday Live 2 returns to TalkSport this Saturday afternoon from 2 o'clock, and this weekend show is dominated by live racing from both Newmarket and York. Don't miss that. Tunisia here, still 0-0. So is the Belgium-England game. Tunisia in possession, but a long ball up to the edge of the Panama penalty area is easily cleared. Half an hour on the clock. A long ball now played into the Tunisian box. Now comes goalkeeper Matloufi to collect under no pressure whatsoever. They do give the ball away in potentially promising situations.
Yeah, they do, and it's just, you just feel like, if you're the manager, you're getting them in and you're just saying, look, just take a little bit more care. Sometimes when there's nobody around you, you've got a little bit more time than what you think, actually. Take a little more care on your passing. Take pride in keeping possession, these type of things. They're only little things on the football pitch, but the best players tend to do it better than anybody else.
Tunisia are doing it well at the moment. A long ball, though, is too long. It was aimed towards the far post where Khazri was waiting to pounce, but it was way beyond him.
The top players, Alan, you look at the top players like the Roy Keanes of this world, they never give the ball away. They take care every pass. Like they say, pass it like you're passing it to your grandmother. Pass, that type of thing. Take care where you're passing, and it's just overlooked in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes nothing wrong with going backwards or sideways as long as you keep possession.
Keep possession, be patient, don't force things, and that's exactly what Panama are doing right now. Every time they get into a decent possession, in decent forward areas, it's breaking down.
Anyway, here goes Tunisia, who are keeping possession much better, midway inside the Panamanian half. They've had to play the ball back, though, to Maria, who sweeps it out to that right-hand side. A terrific ball, that. Naguez heads it infield, where it's easily cleared by Ovale, the left-back for Panama. Now they come forward in their all-red strip with Rodriguez. Rodriguez, midway inside the Panama half, twists and turns, falls over, gets himself a free kick.
Sure about that. I thought he fell over and he tried to handball it on his way down. Got away with that one, Rodriguez for Panama.
So let's see what they can produce here from this set piece, which looks to be, at the moment, their best hope of getting a breakthrough, because the open play hasn't been too clever. No, there's a quick free kick on, and they've done just that. Out it goes to the far side to Barcenas. He's looked good on that left flank for them.
Yeah, the build-up play's actually been very good.
That's a decent strike. Shot was good as well. And they've still got possession with Torres. His shot is blocked inside the penalty area. Good little spell this. Rodriguez is there again and finds Torres. And he lays it back to Rodriguez, and the deflection has taken it in. Rodriguez will claim it, but it went in off a defender. Do they care in Panama? They do not. They've got their second goal of these World Cup finals, and they lead Tunisia with 33 minutes gone by a goal to nil.
Well, just that little bit of pressure, getting the ball in the Tunisian penalty box. There's a little bit of panic. Torres is up there. It falls to Torres. His shot is blocked. Then Rodriguez hits it from 20-30 yards out. It's a really nothing shot. It's powerless, really. And it comes off Maria, and it just beats Mathlouthi in the Tunisian goal with a wicked deflection to put Panama 1-0 up.
Oh, well, the goalkeeper was going one way there, to his left, to cover the shot, because the shot was certainly heading in that direction. As John has correctly pointed out, it hit Maria and went the other way. And he was left hopeless and helpless.
Well, they get bodies in the goal came from. They get bodies in the box. They cause a little bit of confusion. Panama. Torres is up there, big physical presence. The ball falls to Rodriguez. He gets a shot. Get a little bit of luck with the deflection. They find themselves 1-0 up. Just because they get bodies forward. The build-up play has actually not been too bad. It's when they get into the final third, they've tried to force things, and ultimately they've got a deflection which has given them the lead.
It's certainly against the run of play, but it's lifted them now, and they're on the attack again. The restart was poor. Godoy picks up the ball for Panama, midway inside the Tunisian half, plays it out to that left-hand side to the tricky Barcenas, who wins the throw for his side, midway inside Tunisia's half on the Panamanian left. Well, Jose Luis Rodriguez is the youngest in their squad, remember, at 20. If he's given the goal, I don't quite know who decides these things. That's going to be a moment he will never forget. One he'll be telling his grandchildren in many years' time.
Absolutely, and you say this game doesn't mean anything. I bet they're celebrating in Panama like there's no tomorrow. But Rodriguez, is it the rule maybe if the shot is on target?
Yeah, that's it in England
then
anyway.
You get given the goal, but I'm not too sure whether that was actually going on target. We'll have a look at the pictures maybe half-time and tell everybody.
Yeah, we have those goals committees in the English Premier League deciding these matters. I'm not sure if FIFA do the same. Anyway, Tunisia are on the back foot again, and they have conceded a free kick about 10 yards from their own corner flag, and once again on the Panamanian left, where most of their good attacks have come from. In fairness to Torres, who had a shot blocked in the build-up to that goal, he laid the ball off neatly into the path of Rodriguez, didn't he? He's one who doesn't seem to panic much in possession.
Experience.
Yeah, experience, yeah. Absolutely. He's got bags of that. Anyway, it's a free kick, which they will take through Avila. on that left flank, and suddenly the spirits have been lifted here. They've got about 6 players inside the Tunisian penalty area as the cross comes over towards the penalty spot. Dealt with that well there, the Tunisian defence. The ball cleared up to the halfway line. The whistle has gone. I think the referee's given Tunisia a free kick just outside their own box.
Well, they in the ascendancy now, Panama. Last couple of minutes, they've got themselves a goal. They're on top. That was a better ball in from Avila. Better ball into the Tunisia box, and it's now looking like Panama are having the lion's share of things here.
Certainly. Don't forget your essential roundup of tomorrow morning sports stories. Join World Cup Sports Day from 7 o'clock in the morning with Russell Hargreaves and Lisa O'Sullivan, and we're going to have plenty to talk about. Still 0-0 between England and Belgium, but here we have finally had a goal. A long-range shot from Jose Luis Rodriguez, hitting the Tunisian defender Yassine Maria. I just met a girl called Maria, by the way. Sorry about that. And it's 1-0 to Panama. Tunisia attack. Kazri's there just outside the penalty area. The ball is cleared by their back four and goes out of play for a throw-in to Tunisia just inside the Panamanian half. They start to build slowly. That has been one of their faults, if you like. They've got loads of possession, Tunisia, but it's all
just
a bit predictable.
Not passing it with any real purpose, are they?
No, they're not. And again, Panama slammed the door shut quite easily. It goes back to the man who deflected the ball past his own goalkeeper there, Maria. What do you think of those quarterfinals? We'll break off if anything looks dangerous here. France-Argentina first. Who do you fancy there, John? Not quarterfinals, sorry, round of 16.
Yeah, I actually think Argentina will go close now in the tournament. Just think because they've ambled through, if you like. I think we've not seen Dybala yet. There's a problem who plays Higuain or Aguero. That's not a bad to be mulling over who starts. And I think Messi has not hit the heights that people expected him to. He's better the other night, mind you.
Tunisia on the attack here. It's a good cross into the middle and the header by Ben Youssef wide of the far post when you might argue he should have scored there. There's a great ball in by Haddadi.
Great ball in from Haddadi, and Ben Youssef does everything right. He gets across his marker and it's just inches wide of the left-hand far post of the goalkeeper for Panama. Decent effort from Ben Youssef. The angle was really tight when we saw that again. But going back to my fancies, Al, I think Argentina. What do you think?
I think it'll be a tight game, that.
Oh, it's a tough game, yeah.
If Messi turns it on again as he did the other night, well, yeah, Argentina. But France, who have disappointed so far, along with many of the elite nations,
yeah, they have.
I think that'll be decided by one goal. Here, it is being decided by one goal currently, and that one goal belongs to Panama, who have possession but have gifted it back to Tunisia just inside their own half. What about Uruguay, Portugal? That's another cracking looking game.
Well, I think Portugal, they're so dependent on Ronaldo. They really, really are. I'm going to have to say Uruguay. I think Suarez and Cavani, they and Uruguay, they defend so strongly. They're like, they defend like warriors, like their life depends on it, And if you're going to beat Uruguay, you bleeding well earn it. They make you really earn the win against them. They give everything right to the end. So with the threat of Suarez and Cavani, I would have to go Uruguay on that one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. With the same proviso, of course.
Yeah.
If Messi turns it on, he could sway the game. So could Ronaldo.
Don't get me wrong. I think Portugal have got other good players. Absolutely, they're the European champions. But I just think if Ronaldo generally doesn't play, I don't think they play. He's that influential in that team.
Yes, he's arguably, in the context of their squad, more important than Messi is even to Argentina.
And generally, 9 times out of 10, by the way, he stands up when he's counted as well. He scores their goals. Yeah. He doesn't mind, all the weight being on his shoulders. He can deal with that. He's proved that, I think a million times.
Oh, he loves it. He loves the spotlight. Anyway, here come Tunisia. They're a goal behind, and it's that man Haddadi who crosses again.
chance.
Wild effort. Two players, I think, got in each other's way there. Khazri's angry with himself, and they really should have done better. That's two attacks started by Haddadi down the left flank. They could and arguably should have led to goals.
Well, he should be hitting the target, Alan. He must be 10 yards out. He has a really good sight of it. It comes onto his right foot, Khazri, and he blazes it over the bar. Technique poor. He's got to get over the ball there, hit it into the ground, hit the target, at least. But great play again from Haddadi down that left-hand side, providing the cross.
Khazri, their star man, of course, Sunderland player, although he spent last season on loan at Rennes in the French league. They did pretty well at all. They finished in the top 6, 30-odd appearances in the Premier League. He has scored against big players, big teams, Manchester United and Chelsea in the English Premier League. But really, he should have scored then to bring them level. 41, coming up to 42 minutes completed. And it is still Panama 1, Tunisia 0. This is TalkSport 2. Your station for all 64 games of the World Cup finals alongside TalkSport. Every goal, every game, every day, live. In comes a long throw into the Tunisian penalty area, which they've cleared. Avila plays it back in again. It's been given away once more here by Tunisia, but now their goalkeeper Mathlouthi comes out to collect and slow everything down. He bowls the ball out to central defender Bedoui, and he finds Skiri out to that far side to Maguez, the right back, and they start to build again in the middle third of the field here, the white-shirted Tunisians. The ball is with Maria into the centre circle, again finding Skiri, who plays in the French league for Montpellier. He was born in France, didn't even figure in the qualifiers, but gets an appearance now again in the finals. A long ball played into the penalty area towards Khazri again, headed clear by Torres, the Panamanian captain. They're actually defending much better than they did in the first two games here, despite the fact that Tunisia have had most of the possession. Now Avila has the ball halfway inside his own half. The young Panamanian's given it away this time to Skiri in the outside right position for Tunisia. It's a loose ball by him straight to Rodriguez. He's off again, Rodriguez. He was tripped there. That might well be the first yellow card, I suspect. Yes, it will be.
That's for Sassi. That was the goal scorer against England, wasn't it? Took his goal well. The penalty. Yeah, rightly so there. I think Rodriguez is away for Panama. He rides one tackle, but Sassi, they're just taking a yellow card for the team. He was away there, and clear was Rodriguez for Panama.
Yeah, he deserved that caution. Player who also had a spell in the French league with Metz. He plays now in Saudi Arabia. He's a dead ringer for Emre Can. I suppose we have to call him the former.
I'll give you that one. Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that one.
Not quite as good, not quite on that level perhaps. Anyway, 1-0 to Panama against Tunisia as we move into the final minute of the first half here. Panama lead. Long-range shot by Rodriguez, deflected into his own goal by Maria. Panama from that free kick knocked the ball out towards Rodriguez on the right flank. They've got two pretty pacey wingers in Barcenas on one side and Rodriguez on the other. And they've got a long throw now, and they've got a long throw expert as well, of course, in Machado, the right back from Houston Dynamo in the USA. His long throw is cleared this time. He knocked back into Tunisia's penalty area. Their back four went missing there for a moment. It was just as well for them that no Panamanian player was able to capitalise on that lack of concentration. And we're about to find out how much stoppage time we'll have here. We have reached the 45-minute mark. Panama 1, Tunisia 0. There will be 2 minutes added by the Bahrainian referee Shukrala. And it's Tunisia in possession on the halfway line. Ball played in short to Sassi. Sassi, a good ball into the penalty area, well cleared. Oh, and then the shot by Khazri was blocked, and then the goalkeeper managed another save. That was two good saves there by goalkeeper Pinedo in quick succession.
Yeah, better from Khazri. This time he hits his volley on target. Really good saves from Mathlouthi in the Panama goal, but They would love to have got that goal there, Tunisia, right on half-time, when it was actually the big leader. They've got Panama, Torres, who actually comes to their rescue and clears it.
A long ball again to the edge of Panama's penalty area. I think it's half-time now, by the way, in the England game, where it is still goalless as far as we know. And the ball is with Tunisia on the halfway line here, and that will be a free kick to them. Clear foul on Chalai. And they'll only just about be time to launch one more attack for Tunisia here. Skiri has the ball halfway inside Panama's half, and it's played along the ground to Sliti. Sliti tries to work the ball forward. He's looking for a bit of help here, a bit of support. Has to play it back to Sassi. Sassi, and again to Chalai. Chalai forward to the edge of the penalty area where they're giving it away. That's where they have disappointed. The only man who's really got in behind has been the left back Haddadi, who's produced two beautiful crosses, both of which were wasted, scorned by the Tunisian strikers. Sassi has possession for Tunisia. And looking for Kazri down the middle, but Panama win it back again, and it looks as though they're going to go in at half-time with a one-goal lead here, Panama. They have the ball still inside their own half, and the excellent Barcenas with another strong run, but he took on one man too many, and so Tunisia win it back. Torres is there to head it clear on the edge of the penalty area, and the referee has brought proceedings to a halt here after the first 45 minutes, and what a story developing here. Panama in their first ever World Cup finals threatened to take their first ever points. They've had to give up the majority of possession against Tunisia, but when they struck effectively. Might well go down as an own goal by Maria, but the 20-year-old Jose Luis Rodriguez hit his shot. It could have been going in on one side of the goal. It went in on the other after the deflection, and at the interval here, Panama lead Tunisia by 1-0. So Panama lead 1-0 in what will be their final game in their first ever World Cup finals appearance. The oldest squad in the tournament could be just 45 minutes away from a little piece of World Cup history. They have incidentally made a change, and their star man, Torres, their captain, their best known player, has gone off. I can only assume that was an injury. He has been replaced by central defender Harold Cummings during the interval, and I think Tunisia are going to make a change as well. It looks like it, yeah. The referee has just signalled Anichi Badri onto the field. So Badri on. Not quite sure at the moment who's gone off. We'll confirm that one for you later. But Badri on for Tunisia, who trail by 1-0 here. What a story then for Panama. A really poor country, of course. Most of the players come from really humble backgrounds, and they started out on gravel pitches with basic facilities. An Englishman was credited with improving the football situation in Panama. Gary Stemple, who was once the community officer at Millwall, went over there, had a look at the natural raw talent, and just brought a bit of organisation and helped them to get better facilities to improve. And he must be a very proud man to see them here in the World Cup finals, and to see them leading by 1-0 here. So a change made by either side. Badri on, known as an attacking midfield player, and Cummings on for Panama, as Tunisia build on the halfway line. They've been doing a lot of that in this game. But when the ball has been delivered into dangerous areas inside the Panama penalty area, they have been found lacking. And in particular, left back Haddadi in the first half had two gems of crosses that were wasted. I don't think it is Torres who's gone off incidentally. We were told it was going to be Torres, but I think I've just seen him out there. Anyway, we will confirm that for you, as the ball is with Tunisia, with their substitute Badri on the left-hand side of the field. A long ball played into the penalty area.
I think Panama have gone to 5 from a 4 to 5, but the Cummings has gone into the back 3 in terms of central defence, and they've just looked to shore up at the back, Alan. Panama, they just feel they can defend here, and see the game through. And and it looks as if Barcenas has gone more central to take Torres' place. I can't see Torres.
Well, they haven't defended very successfully in this tournament so far, so if that really is their second half tactic, you'd think it's a dangerous one, to put it mildly.
Well, I said that before at half time. I said if they think they can defend now, for they obviously can, by bringing the central defender on in Cummins, that they've gone to the 3.
He's still there, Torres, I'm sure. So there's a bit of confusion there. FIFA announcing through their official feed that he had been replaced. But here go Tunisia again. The ball just outside the penalty area. Good cross coming in. And Machado, the right back, had come across and certainly had to clear his lines there to Rodriguez, who had an excellent first half. It was his shot, remember, that deflected in off Maria for the Panama goal. But a dangerous looking attack here for Tunisia from their right back Hamdi Guez. They've certainly had some good threats down the sides from both their fullbacks.
Cummins for Torres.
Yeah,
Torres.
He's there, Torres, I can see.
No, there's 2 Torreses.
Oh, it's the other Torres. Okay.
There's the captain you're thinking of, the big number 5. He's Torres, and the centre forward was Torres.
Yeah, it's Gabriel Torres who's gone off.
Well, the man of your experience, of the years that you've been working, I'm a novice, so I'm telling you about players.
Yeah, I'm glad you were on the ball.
Yeah, the big fella Torres, the heavy boy,
he's still there.
He's centre off, and they've took the little centre forward off Torres, and they've shifted
a defender on in his
and they've put Cummins on.
We got there.
We got there.
Yeah. 40.
It's normally me that makes these little errors.
48 minutes on the clock. Yeah, they should have put his initial up. That would have been less confusing.
It would have been.
Yeah. 1-0 still the scoreline here. And I think there's been a goal, incidentally, at Kaliningrad.
Januzaj.
Yeah, it looks as though Belgium have taken the lead against England. What a story there. Here it is still Panama 1, Tunisia 0, and it's the Panamanians on the attack on the far side of the field. Trying their best to keep the possession there by Sainas, but it's gone out for a throw-in. The ball is thrown back towards the edge of the Tunisian penalty area, and they begin to build again from the back with Maguez down the right-hand side to Ben Youssef, who missed one opportunity in the first half, as indeed did Khazri, the man who laid the ball off then rather sloppily. It's gone right onto the touchline. Khazri's there to retrieve possession, though, for Tunisia. Has to play it back into his own half. As things stand at the moment, Belgium are going to win this group with 9 points. England are going to be second with 6. And that could be bad news for England, but there's still a long way to go, of course, in that game. Let's concentrate on ours here, with Tunisia in possession inside the centre circle. Looking again to just sharpen things up, and they get into the final third. It's been their downfall so far in this game. But now they're looking dangerous, just outside Panama's penalty area, and Khazri's loose on the middle, and a lovely ball into the middle sees Ben Youssef sweep it home, and Tunisia are level. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Excellent move. Khazri found himself in space. He could have shot unselfishly. He rolled the ball across to his left, and there was Ben Youssef to score what I believe is his first ever goal for Tunisia, and he's already had something like 70 caps.
Yeah, it's that Khazri, Ben Youssef partnership, clever, playing together, linking up. Comes wide to Khazri. He's in a shooting position. He decides to roll it across the face of the goal, and Ben Youssef is in there for a tap-in. Tunisia back in it.
Well, it was an excellent move, and they're coming strong again. 51 minutes gone. Panama 1, Tunisia 1. You're listening to TalkSport 2, and now they're really going to town here. Tunisia, another good ball played into the Panama penalty area. They're under real pressure at the moment, the red-shirted Panamanians. The ball up to the halfway line. It's not a good one, and again they find themselves giving possession back to Tunisia, but the whistle has gone.
It looked very easy, Al, didn't it? It looked very easy, like an easy goal. The build-up was just played wide to Kazri. Then he was able to slide it across the face of the goal. Ben Youssef was in the middle of the box, unmarked for a tap-in. And when you think they brought on Cummins, an extra defender, just wonder they're really poor defending from Panama to concede that equaliser.
They have the ball though in the centre circle. It's played out to the right. Long ball up to the edge of Tunisia's penalty area, where that man Edgar Barcenas is unable to get possession this time, but they've won it back thanks to Godoy, midway inside Tunisia's half. Difficult bounce there for Avila, but he's brought the ball beautifully under control with his first touch and gets it back again. The Tunisians claiming it was their throw, but it was quite clearly Panama's. So their coach Mario Gomez disappointed the way his team has started their second half, because Tunisia have been on the front foot, that's for sure, and they've got their equalising goal. A lovely finish, a lovely move as well. And here goes Kazri, who was prominent in that move. Was he brought down there? It's come again to Ben Youssef. Oh, it's an easier chance to think than the one he scored just a matter of minutes ago. And he's hit it straight at the goalkeeper and holds his head in his hands.
Well, Torres tries to get across to prevent Kazri going through. He takes a tumble. The ball lands at Ben Youssef's feet, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He hits it straight at the goalkeeper Penedo, and it's out for a Tunisia corner. A great chance for Ben Youssef to give Tunisia the lead when he fluffs his lines.
Now Roman Torres, the man who we thought might have gone off, who stayed on, is down injured. So perhaps he might have to go off after all. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? But it was a threatening attack here, certainly for Tunisia. Similar, if you like, to the move that led to the goal, but this time Ben Youssef was unable to convert, hit it straight at the goalkeeper, and this injury has caused a stoppage here, and I can confirm that Belgium are leading England by 1-0 in the other game, John.
Yeah, it'll come across as a disappointing result. You think they've beaten Tunisia, they've beaten Panama, and then again when they go up against any type of decent opposition, England seem to be found wanting. But listen, there's 35 minutes to go. Harry Kane still on the bench. He's probably looking to come on at some stage. But we'll see what England are all about now. They've had so much praise. Some of it's been a little bit over the top. Gareth Southgate have said, yes, get carried away. But there we are. Let's see what England are made of now.
Goal scorer was indeed, as you correctly observed, Januzaj. And I must have put the curse here on Torres, Roman Torres, because he's limping off at the moment. And that's really bad news for Panama. Very much the iconic figure in their squad. He took a heavy blow there.
Yeah, it was innocuous, wasn't it? He just seemed to fall and fell awkward.
So a long delay, but clearly it seems to me that he's not going to be able to continue, and in fact they've got their substitute ready to come on. He's holding up as this corner comes into the near post. It wasn't the best effort there by the right back. Maguez will hit it wide for a goal kick.
You say about Ben Youssef there, Alan, he missed the chance, a really good opportunity, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but he's in there. He's getting opportunities, which I wouldn't be too disappointed about. The chances, the goals will come. It's when you're not getting chances, then you're a little bit more concerned.
So they're going to have to make that change, because clearly Roman Torres is unable to continue. He's taking off his captain's armband. He's going to have to hand that one on. And just about ready, I think, to make the substitution now. The man coming on is Luis Tejada. He's a second half substitute against Belgium. He's 36. Big cheers for him as he comes on. He's known as El Matador to the Panamanian fans. Plays for a club in Peru. He has actually scored something like 100 goals in his career, so not exactly a straight swap for the man who's gone off, who's linchpin in the Panamanian defence. But of course they did bring on a central defender in Cummings at half-time for the other Torres. So they might do a little swap around there, I guess.
Yeah, Tahad has gone and played straight through the middle. A little bit strange, the tactics from the Panama managers. You know, we went to 3 at the back looking to hold out for 45 minutes, which I questioned. And now Torres has gone off one of his centre-halves and he's put a centre-forward back on. Well, at least it's a positive change then.
Certainly is, but positivity is the name of the game for Tunisia at the moment, and they've had another shot that was heading goalwards from Chalai, but took a deflection on the way for a corner kick to Tunisia. This is TalkSport 2, your station for all 64 games of these World Cup finals, alongside TalkSport, every goal, every game, every day, live across the TalkSport network. Corner comes in from that left-hand side, and it's knocked out of play for another corner. It was Rodriguez who intercepted. Well, they've got a lot of players forward here. Tunisia, Khazri, scored against Belgium, made the goal here today, takes the corner right into the middle. It was a good punch clear there by Pinedo, the Panama goalkeeper. Got some distance on that, and it's landed up halfway inside the Panama half. But it's Tunisia coming forward yet again with Sleety playing it over to that far post. Good ball into the middle, but under real pressure at the moment, Panama. It's a case of anywhere will do. A lovely touch though by Godot, who took the ball out of the sky there and brought it down very neatly to set them forward. But Rodriguez has lost possession, and back come Tunisia, just 10 yards outside the Panama penalty area. They've got a lot of players forward in this attack as well. Chalai plays it to the left. In goes the defender Machado and slides the ball behind for yet another corner. Tunisia.
They look dominant now, Tunisia. Panama have had to readjust. Torres, the talisman, and the big centre back has had to go off. They took the centre forward off Torres as well. So, you know, a lot of changes, a lot of disruptions to Panama having gone in 1-0, and it looks like Tunisia now having shown the character to get back in the game 1-1. It looks like Tunisia are the more likely.
Well, if it does stay this way, that means obviously they'll both pick up a point, and that would leave Egypt as the real wooden spoonists, as the only team not to take a single point in the group stages of this 2018 World Cup in Russia. The scoreline in Saransk is Panama 1, Tunisia 1. Panama taking the lead with the first half shot by Jose Luis Rodriguez, which was deflected in off the Tunisia defender Maria, and then the equalising goal, a lovely move by Tunisia early in the second half, with Khazri unselfishly sliding the ball across for Ben Youssef to score his first goal for the Tunisians. But the red shirts of Panama are in possession here at the moment with the latest substitute, Tahada, tall, leggy-looking striker trying to win the ball back inside Tunisia's half. The whistle has gone. It's going to be a free kick to Tunisia, midway inside their own territory. They've only won one of their previous 14 games in the finals, Tunisia, by the way. That was way back in 1978 in Mexico. So it would be a little bit of history for them as well if they could get a winner here. And they are certainly looking the more likely at the moment. They come forward again with Nuguez, who's brought down by his opposite number 21. That is Rodriguez, Panama. Free kick then, midway inside the Panama half to Tunisia, who are looking increasingly dominant here, certainly in terms of possession, if not creativity. They've got their goal, they've got possession with Skiri in the central midfield position. He finds Sleety, they have to play it back then to the left back, and he crosses out to Nuguez, edge of the penalty area. Good ball in. Godoy plays it into the middle, and again Panama defend well, but they just keep giving it away, and the pressure continues to mount on them because they cannot keep possession here, and they've still got half an hour to go. And they're under real pressure again as Sleety just slides it infield to Chalai into the penalty area. Dangerous, that one. Panama can't get away. They just can't get out at the moment. And Tunisia threatening to overwhelm them. They need some help here. Escobar, the central defender, brings the ball all the way up to the halfway line and finds Barcenas, the pacey Barcenas. Little layoff there. They've got one man in the middle. It's Escobar, the central defender, who's continued his run from the back. So there's a bit of a gap he's left behind there.
Now they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Tunisia now are on the break.
They've given it away, and you've got 3 central defenders at the moment closing in on Khazri, who's inside the penalty area and shoots. Well, he was unselfish earlier. He was a bit greedy there.
He was. I thought the angle was against him here. He took it really wide, and then he's trying to score from a ridiculous angle. Keeper doesn't trouble the keeper. Mathlouthi, Pineda, one little bit.
1-1 the scoreline in Saransk, and you're listening to TalkSport 2, your station, remember, for all 64 games of the World Cup finals, and your home of exclusive Premier League and English Football League commentaries, and we'll bring you all the action from England's tours, cricket tours that is, of the West Indies and Sri Lanka this winter. As Panama win a free kick inside the centre circle, just inside the Tunisian half, and try to build from that, but they have to go back. And it's Uvali who plays it forward. It was a decent ball actually to Aguila. Now the cross comes in, the goalkeeper's had to come off his line, and he's made a complete mess of that, and it's still bouncing around on the edge of their penalty area. Oh, they've got away with that one, Tunisia. It's going to be a corner. It could easily have been a second goal for Panama.
What is Mathlouthi doing then? He's way out of his area. He tries to come for a cross. If you're going to come that far, he's almost onto the penalty spot. You've either got, if you can't take it, you've just got to make a decision to punch it. He does neither, and in the end the Tunisian defenders give a corner away. So good pressure from Panama.
Yeah, he made a total mess of that one, Matthew. The ball hit him in the face in the end, but really, well, he's gone down clutching his face.
It's a ball, Alan. It's a ball.
I think it's more embarrassing than injury.
It's poor. Yeah, poor. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. A ball hits him in the face. It wasn't even that powerful.
He probably gets that 100 times a day in training. But anyway, he's lying there explaining to the physio what's wrong with him.
But they're not short of keepers, are they? They've changed the keeper every single game.
Well, they are short.
That's where they're not short in that area.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. I think that's one of those.
If he sees one of the other keepers warming up, he'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, Sainas was the player who hit the shot. It was a difficult ball for him because it was way off the ground, and he had to try and get his leg up and over it. Difficult enough technique at the best of times.
Yeah.
But the goalkeeper's milking this one for all it's worth as we reach the 64th minute. Let me remind you about football first. From 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, it returns to TalkSport 2. Dan Windle alongside Matt Scott to dissect the morning's biggest football stories. TalkSport 2 tonight for all the reaction to today's World Cup matches, plus the best interviews from the biggest names across the TalkSport network today. Don't miss TalkSport 2 tonight from 10 p.m. In Saransk, it is Panama 1, Tunisia 1. In Kaliningrad, it is England 0, Belgium 1. As Tunisia build halfway inside their half. Now the ball is up towards the halfway line. As things stand, it's going to be Belgium who win the group if there's no change in that scoreline. And that's significant because they then would play Japan, and England would have to face Colombia. And I bet if you asked Gareth Southgate for his private opinion, he would have wanted it to be the other way around. So they might have to do their utmost now to try and pull it around there in that game. But here it is Tunisia dominating. 65 minutes gone. Panama 1, Tunisia 1, and Maria's own goal has been officially credited. And then that Ben Youssef equaliser early in the second half for Tunisia, who attack again here, and the ball is just inside the penalty area across the goal, and it's Khazri who's there to turn it in. Another excellent move, and their star player has given Tunisia the lead. They've come back from a goal down to lead 2-1.
It's a really, really well-worked goal from Tunisia. We said for the last sort of few attacks that Tunisia certainly looked the more likely to go ahead in this game. It's a wonderful move down the left-hand side. A couple of 1-2s involving Naguez, and he can shoot. I'm thinking, shoot. It's on to have a strike at goal. No, very unselfishly slides it across the goal, and this time it's Khazri, the goal scorer, not the goal maker as he was for the first Tunisian goal. Puts Tunisia 2-1 up, and it looks very comfortable right now for Tunisia.
So the Sunderland man adds another important goal to his CV. The man who scored for them against Manchester United and Chelsea in their Premier League days has now scored a World Cup goal to make it 2-1 to Tunisia with 67 minutes on the clock. And I can't see Panama having enough about them to get back into this, but you never know. If Tunisia take their eye off the ball as they did in the first half, it could still go level here. And the man who produced that goal, Rodriguez, has just run into trouble there, and Tunisia will break down the right hand side with their first goal scorer, Ben Youssef. Good ball forward by Ben Youssef to the substitute. Out it goes to Khazri. Khazri's cross into the middle is a tempting one. It's come right out to the far side of the penalty area, and they're inside the box now. There was a strong challenge there which could have led to a penalty, but to the relief of Panama.
I'm surprised. Yeah, that looked to me like it was a penalty. Sleety it is. Sleety, and it's Gomez on Sleety. I don't know whether the referee is going to go back to this. I don't know. Looking at that for the second time. No, the referee's ignored it anyway.
Yeah.
I got a bit excited there. We thought we was going to see another penalty.
It would have been watched, of course, by VAR.
But he's deserved his goal, Khazri, I have to say. Yeah. It's a wonderful pass, unselfish for the first goal for Ben Youssef. This time he's the goal scorer. He's on the end of Naguez. Pass again across that 6-yard box. He's in the right place at the right time. Worked hard, certainly deserved his goal tonight.
Well, we've had a lively game here. By all accounts, it wasn't too lively in the first half in Kaliningrad, with both England and Belgium apparently booed off, but it's livened up now with Januzaj having scored for Belgium, and they lead England by a goal to nil. If it stays that way, then it will be Belgium winning the group and facing Japan, and England will have to go face to face with Colombia. Oh, a scary prospect.
Well, I don't think England should be too concerned about Colombia. I think they've got to believe in themselves. They've got to believe that they've made the last 16. They're still well in the hunt to reach the quarterfinals. It's just that you would rather play Japan over Colombia, but I don't think they should be too despondent about that fact.
No, I mean, there's confidence oozing out of England camp at the moment. Yeah, but you said it yourself. Given the choice of the two,
well, you would, but you can't. You can't cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. You're still in the tournament. You've got a chance to get to the last 8 if you go and beat Colombia. You would have probably took this situation before going out to Russia.
Well, just imagine if this game, Belgium and England, had been, for a qualification. They're both through anyway, or before the kick-off even. That would have been scarier, because Belgium have got a chance of winning this.
Well, remember, with everybody saying, "Oh God, it's Colombia," "Oh no, I can't believe." England have got to prepare for this game. They've got to have the right mindset. They've got to get themselves ready. Mentally, there's a lot of changes made tonight. The players that have had a rest, they will come in. They'll be fresh. So there's still a lot to be concerned about and to look forward to.
You're quite right, John, but decades of failure have made England fans naturally pessimistic, I think.
That's why I made the point earlier on about maybe getting a little bit too carried away with everything else going on. We've only won the 2 games against these teams that we're watching tonight, and there's not a lot of quality in these.
Yeah, Rodriguez had a shot there for Panama, which was easily collected by the goalkeeper. Just moving on to the other knockout matches that we know about. Brazil-Mexico, who do you fancy from that one?
You've got to fancy Brazil. Although, Mexico have done ever so well in the tournament. They look a really good side. But for me, I don't think you can go against Brazil at this stage of the tournament.
Spain-Russia. Spain haven't hit the heights, and Russia have got home advantage, obviously. But you'd fancy Spain there, wouldn't you?
You would fancy Spain, the way they knock it about and they make you work, and they just got so many ball players in there, and they've got Costa, obviously, that threat up front. So for me, that I would have to go Spain.
Well, Panama have won themselves a free kick, and the substitute, Bradley, who came on at half-time, has earned himself a yellow card for a foul on Barcenas, dragging him back. He's had a good game, this lad. He had a spell in the Croatian league, and it came off for him there, and he's now in the Mexican league. He was actually voted the best Panamanian player playing abroad, and you can see why. He's been excellent. Panama in their all-red strip, attack down their left flank. And good work there by Avila trying to win the ball back. He really pressurised the defender into conceding a throw-in. So it's an interesting one, this. 2-1 now to Tunisia. Over the balance of play, you'd have to say they deserve the lead. Panama, when they do throw off the shackles of defence, have looked quite useful. And they're looking useful again here. Their substitute could have got in there. Barcenas with a shot. Oh, that's an excellent goal.
He's given a free kick for an earlier foul.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a wonderful finish.
Oh, Barcenas found the top corner of the net in brilliant style there. But, well, a millisecond before that, the whistle went. And he can't believe it.
Oh, Barcenas, he'll be disappointed because there's Cummins. There's not much in it. It's really not much in it. It's very, very soft. Oh, I've got to tell you, Maria goes down so easily. It's hardly anything in it from Cummins. And the referee blew up for a foul, but Barcenas will be devastated there. He scored a great goal, and without Cummins just making a soft foul. Did you think it was soft, Alan? I did.
Oh, yeah. You know, ruling out a goal as good as that, it had to be a clear and obvious foul, if you like, to use the in-phrase in this.
It was one of them when Maria almost bolted from the referee.
Yeah.
You know, he was going down and he just won the
you
foul.
feel for him there, you do.
We've had a great last 20 minutes if that was to go in 2-2.
Yeah.
What 20 minutes we'd have.
Well, they've given everything here. Barcenas has been fouled again on that far side of the field, and that is the Panamanian right, so he will bring them forward from the free kick. It's swept out to Rodriguez, the man who produced the goal, the own goal by Maria, the central defender for Tunisia in the first half. Don't forget that since then, Tunisia have scored twice. First through Ben Youssef, then through Wabi Kazri, and they lead 2-1 and have possession just inside their own half. We're approaching 74 minutes on the clock. England are trailing 1-0 in the other game in the group against Belgium. Januzaj, the goal scorer for Belgium, and as things stand, it's going to be Belgium winning this group. England will be in second place, Tunisia will be third, and Panama will be right at the bottom, but Tunisia, of course, cannot qualify anyway. But they've put on a decent show here. I think they'll be pleased with their performance and the scoreline. They have, however, now conceded another free kick over on the far side of the field. By Maria. It was an eventful night, one way and another. And it'll be Escobar, the central defender for Panama, who comes forward down the left. They've given away another one. This time it's Badri, who had been shown a yellow card before. He's got to be careful. That was a bit of a wild challenge. Two players challenged him there, in fact. Just a free kick, no further punishment. Unless they can produce something from this free kick. It's way away from goal. Avila spotting it up. It's about midway inside the Tunisian half. Tunisia lead 2-1 with just over a quarter of an hour remaining in Saransk. Avila will take it right into well, the goalkeeper hesitated there. It was a poor free kick, but the goalkeeper almost made it into a better one. Just started to come out, went back and left it to Escobar, the central defender, but he couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, that's where you're looking, last 10-15 minutes, just to put that ball, into a dangerous area where you can maybe get a mistake from the goalkeeper or a little bit of panic in the Tunisian defence. Just Panama just lacked that final ball into the box for me tonight. They've had one or two good opportunities to put it in a dangerous area, and they haven't done that.
Change on the way for Tunisia. Naeem Sliti, who I thought looked pretty dangerous, is being replaced by Ahmed Khalil, who didn't figure at all in the qualifiers, so a bit of a surprise to see him coming on for Sliti, who's been pretty dangerous, really.
Yeah, I think he was involved in the first goal as well. Played it wide to Kazri.
Coach has made that change. The Tunisian coach, Nabil Maloul, his second spell in charge. He resigned after failing to qualify for the last World Cup finals in Brazil, and then was reappointed by them halfway through the qualifiers for this World Cup. Strange goings on. Goal kick to Tunisia, who lead by 2-1 in the final 15 minutes. But Panama are giving their all here. They really desperately want that first World Cup point. And they're looking threatening again, just outside the penalty area. The ball comes to the substitute. And the ball into the middle is easily taken by the goalkeeper. Looked as though he was in a bit of trouble in the end there, as Tejada laid it off. He got there this time, Matluthi, having made a bit of a mess of things earlier on.
Yeah, he'll be delighted to have come for that one and made a good fist of it, because he did make a mess of the previous one. Could have led to a Panama equaliser.
Keeping possession here, Tunisia deep inside their own half, just outside their own penalty area in fact. Panama trying to put the pressure on. It goes back to their goalkeeper. It's played upfield now by Tunisia. They have possession with Ben Youssef on the halfway line. He just got caught there on the toe. You could hear his scream a mile away. Certainly made the most of that, and the referee has decided that's going to be a yellow card for Avila.
That's about his sixth foul. Can't complain.
Well, he made 3 in about the first 10 minutes, didn't he?
And that's probably the least one, baby. He stepped on Ben Youssef's toe there, but there was certainly fouls that he committed probably worthy of a booking more than that particular one.
Anyway, free kick to Tunisia, which is what they want at this stage of the game. They don't have to force it here. They lead by 2-1 and look set for to finish in third place in this group. Well, what's first and second going to be? At the moment, it's going to be Belgium first, England second, because Belgium, thanks to Januzaj, are leading in Kaliningrad with just a little over 10 minutes to go in that game. They started just before we did in Saransk, and it was Belgium 1, England 0 there. Here, Panama 1, Tunisia 2. Tunisia in their all-white strip had possession midway inside their own half. A lot of players moving into good positions here, but he lost completely there, Chalai, and was taken out of it. And the referee with a stern word to say to the Panama defender. Gomez committed the foul. Whoa, that looked painful.
Did.
Set of studs right on his ankle there. Gomez shakes his hand, despite having been cautioned.
There's no lack of physicality in this Panama side, is there?
You could say that. You just have, and you're right. In this stoppage in play, let's look at the other games that we know about for the knockout round. Croatia-Denmark, how do you see that one?
Well, I've always liked Denmark as a football nation, the Laudrups in particular. People like that, I think they've always been really good in tournaments. You remember we played with George Jensen at Arsenal. He scored that wonder goal, didn't he, in the Euros that time. But I would have to go with Croatia. I think Croatia have got, the likes of Modric, Mandzukic. I just think
they've looked good, haven't they, as well?
They have, and they come into the tournament with high hopes, as they'll listen to Slaven Bilic on the television talking about Croatia. They certainly expected to get through the group, which they've done, and I'd have to go Croatia that one.
Amina, who was booked a few moments ago, has just been replaced by Arroyo for Panama. Abdiel Arroyo, who came on for the last 20 minutes against England. He's a young striker who's played his club football in 5 different countries. 10 minutes to go. Panama 1, Tunisia 2. So they've certainly got plenty of attacking players out there at the moment, Tunisia. And one of those, substitute, plays it out to Barcenas, who's looked their best player, I think, tonight. And gets them moving forward again here, but they've had to go back towards their own goalkeeper. They've had less possession, considerably less possession than Tunisia. But having said that, They look just as dangerous at times.
Yeah, they are. They've thrown a load of forward-minded players on now in the last 9 or 10 minutes. They'll be susceptible of conceding a third, but they've got to be seen to be going for it now.
Tahada, one of those substitutes, in a very advanced role for them here. As Tunisia win back possession just outside their own penalty box. Coming up to 82 minutes on the clock. The ball is knocked back to their goalkeeper, who looked a little bit uncertain there. That's Louis, but he's got the ball upfield. And Tunisia build again with Ben Youssef down the right flank. Slides it infield to Chalai. Chalai has possession and knocks it back into his own half in no great hurry to get them advanced here. Why should he be? They lead 2-1. And we're looking at finishing third in this group, which would mean, of course, Panama get that wooden spoon. Maguires for Tunisia, the right back, inside the half. It's a lovely ball for Khazri. Khazri tried to get it onto his left foot, but just showed too much of it to the defender. And Panama have escaped another dangerous moment, and indeed have won a free kick 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, if there's one, Khazri has done everything right tonight. It was just probably the only decision for me that he got wrong. Rather than let the ball run across his body and trust in his pace to go and direct that goal, he's tried to come inside, and the defender got across and made the tackle. It was the only time I thought Khazri, who's had an excellent game, just made the wrong call there.
Gomez for Panama sweeps a long high ball into the corner where there's a foul being committed by Rodriguez of Panama, so that's a free kick to Tunisia as we tick into the 83rd minute. Just one other game that we know of for sure yet in the knockout round to get your verdict on, John. Sweden-Switzerland.
Sweden-Switzerland. Well, I've done a few of the Switzerland games. I covered that group. They've got a couple of suspensions. Lichtsteiner is out of that one, and somebody else, a really important player, I couldn't think of the top of my head. I'll go Sweden on that one.
Yeah, I'll
go Sweden.
Back you on that. Incidentally, the Panama coach, who I said before is a bit of a controversial character, has got himself involved in a little scuffle or discussion anyway, right on the halfway line. He's a tiny man compared to the Tunisians he was arguing with there. The referee had to step in and quieten it all down. He once had to apologise apparently for punching a woman who criticised his tactics. Interesting.
Nice man.
He also got shot in the leg once, I'm told. Anyway, here comes Panama just outside the penalty area. The ball is laid off by Arroyo, the man who's just come off the bench, but it wasn't the best pass. And Tunisia managed to clear it, and then Tahada committed a foul. Anyway, 10 yards outside their penalty area. He, I thought, was being held there, and maybe the free kick should have gone Panama's way there. But the referee...
We've not seen VAR yet, Alan.
No, not
6 minutes to go. We've seen a few late VAR shouts. Not quite ruled it out yet.
We've got less than 5 minutes remaining at Kaliningrad, and England is still trailing to Belgium 1-0 as Panama backpedaled furiously from a free kick, but it was too long the ball for Badri, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Tunisia, who are on their way to what will be only their second ever victory in the World Cup finals, the first way back in 1978, remember, against Mexico. They have possession with Khazri in the centre circle. He goes down and the referee's whistle blows. It's going to be a free kick to Tunisia for that foul on the scorer of their second goal, the Sunderland man, Wabi Khazri. How long he remains at Sunderland since they have been relegated to League One remains to be seen. Now the referee's just having another word here with two arguing players from Panama before he awards another free kick against them. Heaven knows what the free kick count is against in those 3 matches they played in the World Cup finals. 5 minutes to go here in Saransk, and Tunisia lead by 2-1. Khazri's goal could well prove to be the winner. After Panama had taken the lead in the first half, a shot by Rodriguez deflected into his own net by Maria, the Tunisian centre-half. Ball is back with Tunisia goalkeeper Matloufi, who comes out to the edge of his penalty area and hits it long, a little bit too long. trying to pick out Haddadi, who's had a good game at left back, hasn't he, John?
Yeah, he has. He's looked to get forward, and I have to say for Tunisia, he set up a couple of decent opportunities in the first half in particular. He's been solid in the second half, and Tunisia have needed to be defensively, but in the first half he certainly was a threat down that left-hand side. Great delivery into the box.
Tunisia have possession halfway inside their own half. The ball played up towards the halfway line to Ben Youssef. Ben Youssef closed down quickly there. He has to go back towards his own goal. So does Maguez. But they play their way neatly out of a potentially dangerous situation. Calm, composed, accurate passing. And Youssef has the ball. They're still inside their own half here. Tunisia now, it's swept up to the halfway line to that excellent left back we were talking about, Haddadi. And can he find a way through here? No. In comes Escobar.
He's out of position here. He needs to get back. He needs to sprint back.
And he's not going to get back here. Arroyo for Panama lays a pretty poor ball, to be honest, into space for Barcena, but it's too far ahead of him. Goal kick. So the only matches that we don't know about yet is who's going to play Japan and who's going to play Colombia. At the moment it's going to be England taking on Colombia and Belgium taking on Japan. As England nearly conceded a second goal, I'm told a moment ago. Pickford making a decent save for them. Late on in that game there, late on here in Saransk. Panama 1, Tunisia 2. You see late change here, very late change for Tunisia. So they're going to bring on Srafi, a young winger. Just waiting here for the referee to signal him on. It's Kazri who's going to go off, and the Panamanian players understandably are complaining about this bit of time wasting here. Kazri goes off as the man who scored the goal that could well win the game here for Tunisia and create a little bit of history for the African nation.
Yeah, he's getting a great applause, and rightly so. I think he's been excellent tonight, Kazri. Probably my man of the match. Did a lot of good things this evening. Made the first goal, scored the second one, run his socks off all evening. Been a thorn in the side of the Tunisia defence.
Srafi on in his place then. He's only 21. He's often been used as an impact sub by Tunisia.
Good player. I like him. I like Kazri. Did ever so well this evening.
And the man who's coming in his place, one of the many who plays in the French league. He's with Nice. Not going to have much time to make an impact here as the referee's whistle sounds for, I think it's going to be a Panamanian free kick, which they've taken already. A little bit too hasty there, really, because Tunisia have won it back, and it should go back all the way to their own goalkeeper here, but taking a little bit of a chance there on the edge of his own box. And the ball has been given away to Rodriguez. The Panamanian plays it down to the left. That's a good early cross. Oh, what a chance here! Gomez can't reach it. Barcena's there. They've still got a chance of scoring a goal. Now the flag has gone up for offside. Oh, what an opportunity for an equaliser.
Oh, what a chance. What a chance for Panama late on. The ball has come across the 6-yard box. It's a great ball in from the left. Oh, and it just avoids 3 or 4 Panamanian players that cannot quite get a contact on the ball. But what a chance in the 89th minute.
Arroyo just had a flick at it. Gomez tried to get there on the far post as well. They both missed it. It was kept in play in the end by Barcenas, but the flag had gone up for offside. And we're about to find out how much stoppage time is going to be played in this final game for both these nations in these World Cup finals.
I think there'll be a good 5 or 6 minutes. I'll tell you why. I think every single substitution has come on. There's been 1 or 2 stoppages. I'd be surprised that +5.
Yeah, you're spot on. 5 minutes it is. As Belgium came close to getting a second through Fellaini in the other game, but they still lead England by 1-0 as we move into the first of the 5 minutes of stoppage time here, with Tunisia leading Panama by 2-1. Kazri, who's just been substituted, very much the star player of this Tunisian squad, got the goal that could and should at this stage prove to be the winner. They have possession midway inside Panama's half. A long ball played out to their first goal scorer, Fakre Ben Youssef. He plays it back to Naguez, the right back, all the way back into his own penalty area to goalkeeper Maflouthi. He gets a lot of distance on his kick, but not much accuracy. It's gone straight back to Panama. Could have been a foul there, I think, on Ovale. It was. He will take the free kick himself, just inside the Panamanian half. Slides it across to Escobar. Escobar out to Barcenas on that right flank. Barcenas tries to take on Haddad. It's been a good battle between those two. And now it's back into Panama's half to Gabriel Gomez. He's got to be careful here, the man who protects the back four. And he was careful, to be fair. Now it goes forward from Cummings, the half-time substitute, but it's been given away. And this could be Tunisia's opportunity to finish off Panama here. Ben Youssef, scorer of the first goal, has the ball just outside Panama's penalty area. Lays it across the field rather than making real progress with it. Gets it back on the right flank and then manages to give it away, but a strong challenge there by Godoy. Not sure which way the referee's going to see this one. I think it's going to be a free kick to Panama. It looked that way. Yes, and there's going to be a yellow card as well. It's all over, by the way, in Kaliningrad, and it's the Belgian fans who are celebrating there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting too excited if I was Belgium, and I wouldn't be getting too despondent if I was England. You know, it's only the group stages. They both did well to get out of the group. Now it's the business end. There's quite a bit of work ahead of both teams.
Yeah, so that sets up the clashes. We'll come back to that because there's a chance here, and another miss. This time by Anabel Godoy. Panama have had a number of chances in the last 10 minutes or so to equalise here and miss them all.
Oh, what a chance. That's a typical chance that you want from Godoy. Last kick of the game. And the crime there is to not even hit the target. He's inside the box, comes over his shoulder, free striker on goal, fails to hit the target.
So now we can complete the picture, so quickly, John. Belgium, Japan, England, Colombia.
Oh, you put me on the spot there, man. You put me on the spot.
That's why you get such a huge celery.
You waited until the last minute. You absolutely
we've only just found out.
Right, okay, I think England are good enough to beat Colombia, and I think Belgium are certainly good enough to beat Japan.
Okay.
So I see both teams winning.
I don't think we're holding you to this, but it's all been recorded. And
but I do genuinely think that England are good enough to beat Colombia if they've got the Hurricanes of this world playing, and they need to improve on tonight, obviously, which I think they might do. I do think they're good enough to beat Colombia. Listen, it'd be a tough ask because Colombia are a good side, but you have to be positive, of course.
Well, talking of positive, a handball by Tunisia just outside their own penalty area has given Panama, as we move into the last 60 seconds here, what could well be, probably will be, their final opportunity to get level here and pick up what would be their first ever World Cup points. They've got 3 players over the ball discussing things here. Looks as though it would favour the left footer, you would think. The goalkeeper is Maflouthi is lining up his ball here. I'd let Barcenas take it, I think, because he's been so good for them tonight, although he's mainly right-footed. There's a lot of players in the wall, and Pinedo is threatening to come up the
Escobar as well. Escobar over the ball.
Yeah, Escobar. Barcenas is indeed there as well. So let's see which one of them takes it. It's about 10 yards outside the Tunisian penalty area, and we're nearly at time up now. So whatever happens here is going to be the last meaningful action. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on in the wall as Escobar and Barcenas finally decide, when the referee's ready, who's going to hit this one. Barcenas has been their best player for me. Can he finish on a high here for himself and for his country, Panama? He does hit it! Straight into the goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper. Oh, what's happened there?
No, the goalkeeper's rolling around as though he's been shot by a sniper there. He does like to make a meal of these little collisions, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's Maflouthi who's rolling around in the goal for Tunisia. Oh, there's no need of this. There's a big grapple now. Both teams the game's over. Shake hands now and walk off. Don't be letting yourself down now, lads.
Yeah, it's got silly there, really. I'll have to say I blame the goalkeeper, but I don't think there was much contact there.
Absolutely. Look at him. If he just gets up,
he didn't do anything.
That is honest to God.
It is.
I don't want to be taking the shine off anything that Tunisia have done tonight. They've done brilliantly. And it's not been a dirty game. There's been a couple of little rash challenges from Panama, one or two of the Panama players, but there's been nothing in it. Really hasn't. And the goalkeeper now is letting everybody down.
I was going to say to you, actually, and we didn't have time earlier, but have you got any disappointments about this World Cup? For me, it's been too much play acting like this.
Well, yeah, that always disappoints me, Alan, anyway, not just in the World Cup, but, you know, when players are wanting to get other players booked or sent off, that's just embarrass yourself. Good God, when he looks at that, you must just think, how can you look yourself in the mirror like that?
I think it's a little finger injury. Anyway,
there we go. Anyway, great. Tunisia. I think Tunisia have won. Is that full time? Has he blown yet?
I don't think so, because he hasn't restarted, has he?
97
I think he
minutes
will.
On the clock.
He will as soon as this ball is kicked by the
I'm not sure.
Injured.
Would he manage to kick this ball? He got a
It's
load of
going to be
injuries.
tough for him, but he's a brave lad. We've got 97, almost 98 minutes elapsed. And now we're about to see the final kick, I think, of the game in Sarat. Yep, there goes the whistle. And Tunisia have beaten Panama, and Tunisia's players fall to the ground in joy, because this is an historic one for them. Only the country's second victory in a World Cup finals, the first against Mexico back in 1978. But Panama had things to celebrate themselves. They scored what was only their second goal in their first ever appearance in these World Cup finals, when a first half shot by Rodriguez was deflected into his own net by the Tunisia central defender Maria. But Tunisia were the better team throughout, and deservedly got level thanks to Ben Youssef, a goal laid on for him by Wabi Kazri, and then Kazri himself scored the second, and that's how it is finished here in the final game for these two teams in these finals in Russia. Panama 1, Tunisia